Okay, so this is a really brief screencast of the sort of e-learning tools that I use when I'm teaching English here at Perins. So to start off, here is a new Moodle course that I've created for my Year 7s as part of their Heroes and Villains scheme of work, which is a descriptive writing unit. We've moved over to the new grid or box format, and primarily each of the grids allows the students to access a number of resources and complete online journals, tasks, all sorts of things. It enables them to access links and templates that I've already created and uploaded to the site, so that there's no printing, and students can access, edit and save the work to their own laptops. The other flip side to this scheme of work was the creation of the Mahara pages. Each year 7 class was set up with the Mahara group, and within that they had the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. template, which looks a little bit like this. And I tried to build the blocks so that they could add to the course bit by bit as we went through. And eventually, once we completed the unit, we ended up with some really good completed pages where they've, as you can see, come up with each of the tasks. There's their mind map. They've used the Bubbleless mind map tool to do that. Here we've got some images from the Marvel website. We've got a number of tasks or documents that they've created and uploaded, and we've used a range of tools really on this. And the bottom side of that is that we've used the feedback system as part of Mahara, so that they can peer assess, I can assess, and they can do some really effective reflecting throughout the process. And as you can see, that's tracked on their page. It's dialogic, and it's fantastic in terms of the pedagogy. The kids know exactly where they're at, what their target is for each stage, and we've really enjoyed using this. So it's potentially something we're going to use a lot more of in English. Something else we tried this year was the use of Nearpod. And Nearpod is a resource that is much like some of the more knowledge-based resources online like Kahoot that allow you to get live participation. Essentially, you create a PowerPoint and the students can participate through a number of quizzes. So if you open it up, you can create a live session and whereby you share a code with your class, and they participate. You set the pace. You can share all of your standard PowerPoints, and then you get things like a poll, questionnaires, and what's fantastic about this for English, something that's not offered on many of the other sites, is the ability to do an open-ended question. So that's one of the other resources that has been taken on board by the department. Something else I've loved using has been the Animoto website, and it's been able to create some really engaging videos that I've managed to use in schemes of work to start off tasks, to get students thinking, and to share information in a really innovative way. The other great thing about that is that I can post the video either to my YouTube channel. As you can see, there's some of my other videos that I've used. The students can access them repeatedly, they can share them with parents. So in terms of that accessibility and dialogue, again, it's really good. So here, as an example, these aren't actually Animotos, these are Powtoons, something else I use as part of the Year 7 Heroes and Villains. So I was able to use a Powtoon, link it to the theme of missions, and share it with the group. The final and newest thing that we've started is the Google Drive or Bitly. So I've created a Google Drive folder for my Year 10s whereby I post all of their language exam preparation based on question by question, and they can access, view and download the PowerPoints. This has been particularly effective if students have missed any lessons, they are lacking in confidence. They can download the PowerPoint. We've also posted a number of other practice tests, texts and things for them to access so that they can practice in their own time a lot easier. So all they've had to do for that was to have the Bitly address. So Bitly is the URL compressor. So it means that in order to access my page, I only literally have to type in my class code, which I can share with them really easy. It's much easier for them to access. I can send them a link via email and they can access it, and it enables them to do a lot more revision at home. So that's the things I use consistently. Other things I use, as you've seen examples of, Bubble-us mind mapping. It's really good for kids to mind map. I also use Wordle quite a lot, which is really good if you're giving the children the space to save the image, like on a Mahara page. I have my own personal Twitter account that I encourage students to follow me. I often have a word of the week that I encourage students to use in their own vocabulary. I post what books I'm reading, my reviews of them, how I feel about them. I try to vary my presentation modes, so I will often present using Powtoon or Prezi or a Nearpod. I've also used Moodle, various other modes and methods. I have a visualizer that I use to model annotation, particularly. It's worked really well with my year 10s. I use it to demonstrate good examples and for us to level up how we can improve that. Kahoot is a quiz that I use quite regularly if I want to test knowledge-based recall. For example, if I wanted to test knowledge of definitions of terms, Kahoot's a great and engaging way to do that. I use Google Docs quite a lot if I want to get groups to work on a task collaboratively, and that can be seen live on screen. I can do that. I've done that for a glossary for a spoken language group with my year 10. That worked really well. And of course, when you're talking about live collaboration, Padlet is another great thing that I use quite consistently. And as you can see, I like to use screencasts so that I can guide staff who I'm sharing my experiences with, or students going out into the e-learning venture for the first time. So that's basically what I do in terms of e-learning in a nutshell.